Hello, lovely roses. Today, Teen Rose is going to react to Jurassic Park Lost Footage, Muldoon Logs. Oh, this should be exciting. What do you think, Cream?
I've never actually seen Jurassic Park before, so it should be interesting to see.
Oh, this should be very interesting indeed. What about you, Big?
I never seen Jurassic Park. Does it have fish in it?
I don't know about fishes, but it got something, all right?
Will be your first time for both of us then.
Yeah. I want to see fish.
Who knows? You might see some. Okay, without further ado, let's get to reacting.
Pretty
Whoa.
colors.
How big?
Robert
Whoa.
Muldoon, Game Warden,
What a cool
𝐕𝐨𝐬𝐜𝐿.
Jeep!
Feeding procedure for
That's very
Velociraptor anteropis. The date is September 1st, 91. I'm standing here at the raptor enclosure prior to the evening feeding cycle. I will now document the feeding process, which I
Did you
think
hear
is
that
not
roar?
as efficient as I would like.
Thanks.
There
Was
are
that
still
Froggy
many
when
things
he's
that need
hungry?
smoothing out, but I want to keep it professional and objective in this vlog. Here, at the entry gates, we have a staggered system whereby doors can only be opened once further doors have been locked, similar to the double doors of a walk-through aviary in any zoo, where visitors close one door before opening the other to prevent birds from escaping. The birds in here, however,
It's very
won't just
cagey
escape,
looking.
they'll gut you to death. But like I said, the system needs refining.
Yeah,
As it stands currently, only selected carnivore handlers and myself
I
are
wonder if
permitted to
Eggman helped
feed
them
the
build it.
raptors. Let me show you how that's done.
Froggyzilla.
The authorized handler will use his swipe card to enter the buffer enclosure with a live animal, usually a cow. We've tried feeding the raptors beef, lamb, chicken, pig, you name it, but they
Raptors, huh?
won't touch the stuff. They need living prey because they want to hunt. They want to coordinate
Have
and
you
take down
tried
a live
fish?
animal. So we've resorted to bringing in a cow
No,
or a goat
Big.
once every 3 days or so. The handler will lead the cow into this enclosure.
Yeah.
This buffer enclosure is double fenced with a steel barricade internally and then a 10,000-volt electric fence externally, mounted on concrete
geez,
slabs
that's very
which
shocking.
extend 10 feet underground to prevent the raptors
That's
digging.
electrifying.
The enclosure, as you can see, is fortified on both sides and from above to prevent the raptors leaping, because they're astonishing jumpers, easily clearing 10 feet plus.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is the
impressive.
actual feeding
Yeah,
enclosure.
it's very high.
And again, the handler uses his swipe card at the scanner to open the gates like so. This pen opens up to the Velociraptor exhibit that visitors will see on the tour once the park is up and running. So that means where I am
Interesting.
standing now is the rear of the raptor exhibit, out of sight from the Explorer Tour track. I personally don't think any child visiting this park should see a 6-foot reptile eviscerating a poor cow, and that's why we feed them away from public eyes.
That sounds
Once the
scary.
cow is brought into this pen,
Yeah, it
the
does.
handlers exit, locking this gate, and then proceed out the buffer enclosure. It is only once both gates have been closed and the handler is safely behind 2 locked gates that the raptors are permitted to enter this enclosure and feed. This fence, as well as
That
the
sounded
electric
like
fence
what do they
beyond,
call
slide
them?
open, and the raptors enter where I am currently
Brontosauruses?
standing.
Brachiosauruses?
For obvious reasons, I will
Or
not
was that a
open this gate.
triceratops?
But that is essentially the
wasn't a
gist of how we
fish?
currently feed the raptors here,
No, it
while
was
the construction
not
of
a
the raptor
fish.
pen a little further
Oh.
away reaches completion. and we transport the pack there. Now, if we look out into the raptor enclosure, there are 5 female animals in here. We bred 8 originally, and then 2 more were cloned on sauna, but 1 did not survive transport to the park, leaving 1 big one to join the pack in here. When she came in, she took over the pride, killing half the original brood. Just 4 days ago, the big one killed a smaller raptor, so I'm always watching her.
That's bad.
I don't believe we'll spot any of them right now, and that's probably because they are nocturnal animals.
Why can't they just be nice to each other?
I've had many discussions with John about feed timing and whatnot, and possibly switching to nocturnal feeding, as daytime may cause stress and agitated behaviors.
What was that?
Not sure.
The last thing we want is an agitated velociraptor, believe me.
Camera was clicking for a
And
second.
on that note, that completes this log of the feeding procedures. What the? Is that another? Shit. So as I
What was
documented earlier
that?
this afternoon, another raptor was killed. She was removed from the enclosure by a chopper, which was a disaster. She sustained a massive laceration to her underside and
Why
bled
does the
out.
big one have to be so
My
mean?
guess is the big one took her out.
But I'm
But the
not
enclosure
mean.
cameras didn't catch it.
No,
There's
you're
only so
not
many cameras you can
big.
place across an enclosure the size of several football fields covered in dense vegetation.
Yeah.
The surveillance footage from last night, after the dead raptor was removed, only raised more questions.
Ooh.
I noticed the remaining 3
Big
females
froggy.
Oh.
but I couldn't spot the big one. Anyway, another one down. 4 remaining raptors. I'll document the raptor pack dynamics tonight. They're bound to change after another member dies.
There it is.
There it is.
I want to pet it.
Oh no, big.
They go at the fence every night, never attacking the same place twice.
They're
They
not
test
like
the fences for
Froggy.
weaknesses systematically.
No.
They learn.
But
Remember.
yeah, I offer it fish, and then it will be my friend.
Oh, you're very sweet to think that, big. Oh.
That big
What are
one
they
is
doing?
a real problem. She's costing Hammond hundreds of thousands. When she was introduced, the dynamics of the pack changed significantly. Dominant from the start and absolutely lethal to any raptor that did not fall in line. She shows extreme intelligence, even problem-solving intelligence.
Is that the big one?
That one, when she looks at you,
Yeah,
you
that
can
is
see
the
she's
big
working
one.
things out.
Like it's
She
yeah,
doesn't
you're
test
right,
the fences
Cream's
anymore.
looking
She
at the
watches the
camera.
others do it for her. They obey her.
It's like it
completely.
knows that we're there.
I've seen that look
Yeah,
before in
okay.
lions and wolves, but not in reptiles. It's not instinct. It's something else.
What's funny is that's how people move on VR chat.
She's making plans at the moment, and the other raptors are awaiting instructions. This is the big one in the back. And now that they know there's something in the feeding enclosure,
Oh,
we might
she
get to see
looks
what I told you
bigger.
before. Their communication is far more advanced than reptiles of today. There's verbal cues and sounds,
I think
but there's
so.
also eye movements and tail twitches. One thing about the big one is she's fairly stoic in her communication style. She's aggressive when she wants to be, but is not as animated as the others. She'll stand still and stare directly into your eyes for hours. The others I describe
Oh.
as more bird-like in their behavior with erratic movements. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
She's chosen one of them, and they're off.
No, come back. I have fish for you.
These two
Oh.
are a few
my
years old,
goodness.
and they seem to be the most loyal to the
They
big
are
one.
so close.
Okay, I
quite
don't think I brought
attached to
enough
her.
fish.
But where did she go? See, that's what she does. She gives out orders and then sits back and watches. And these two clowns do her bidding.
Did he just call them clowns? Whoa!
Oh, shit. I've never seen one of them make contact with the fence for such a long time. Jesus Christ, I think she fried herself.
Oh my gosh.
What was that?
You were here to distract me. Clever girl.
Hmm.
The following morning, the
Was-
big one and her two remaining minions were tranquilized
Oh,
so that our vets could enter the enclosure and inspect the raptor's injuries.
So they went night-night.
yeah, they did.
Do you think the
They
nice
just
purple jester
sleeping.
will say hi to them?
Right? Oh,
She
you mean
sustained
knights?
third-degree
Oh,
burns
maybe.
to all
Who
4 limbs
knows?
and
That'd be
lacerations
a
to
good
the
question to
Yeah.
ask
before being
knights.
hurled some 40 feet away from the electric fence. She smelled of charred meat.
Each time I tried to talk to
Consequently, she
knights,
died.
they get all
This
flustered.
raptor in particular was far younger than the others.
Oh,
My
is
guess
that
is
so?
the big one picked on her specifically
I
to
didn't
test
even do
another region of
anything
the electric
wrong.
fence. This one mustn't have had
Oh,
the
I'm sure
experience
it's
that the other
nothing bad,
raptors had and
Big.
couldn't manage to execute the task without frying herself in the process.
Velociraptor.
I would
Oh,
almost feel
poor
sympathy
little
for her
thing.
if I didn't have an obsessive need to have them all destroyed before one of them eventually figures out how to escape their enclosure. The sedated raptors were moved from this enclosure to a far more reinforced pen. Unfortunately, that wasn't without another casualty.
Feed her? Yeah. Feed her.
Oh,
Give her fish. Yeah.
well, that was certainly very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting indeed.
I feel so
Wow.
bad for that poor velociraptor. That big one is just so mean.
Yeah. You give it
So-
fish, it should be nice.
Oh, if only it worked that way, Big.
But this was certainly interesting to watch.
Yes, it was. What did you think, Big?
I liked it, but I didn't like when they got shot. It wasn't nice.
No, I mean, no, I agree, it wasn't. All right, my lovely roses. Until next time, stay loving, stay unique, and stay cozy. Bye.
Bye.